So with this episode, I wanted to come and talk to you guys about the favorite time of the year. The IRS has now officially started accepting tax returns on January 27th, I believe, or the 21st, one of them. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and give you guys some tips. When it comes to taxes, it's a few things you need to consider. Are you a W-2 wage earner? Do you work a job and you get a W-2 and they take taxes out? Are you a 1099 contractor? You drive Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, where you control how much taxes you pay, in a sense. Number 3 is, are you strictly a business? Do you have a brick and mortar? Are you online? You only submit business taxes and you are an employee of your own business. So those are basically the top 3, corporation and all of that stuff, in a sense.
Yeah, we are dynamite.
So let's talk about W-2 earner first. So with W-2, you go to a job, you have to fill out your onboarding forms, your W-4, it tells you how many withholdings you want to do, how many exemptions, things like that. You want to adjust your W-4 accordingly so that you don't have to pay as much taxes at the end of the year. Let's say you go exempt, meaning that they don't take any taxes at all, or you claim 1 or 0 is what I suggest if you want them to take what they're supposed to take. That way you don't owe. If it's just you claiming 0 or 1, they take the highest amount. So your work checks are smaller when they do that. If you have kids, you can claim 3, 4, 6, whatever. That way they take out taxes, but they take the least amount as possible. So those are things to consider when you are only a W-2 and you want to always, if you can, contribute to something that reduces your taxable income. What I mean by that is 401k, flex spending accounts, health savings account, things like that helps you reduce your taxable income. What is taxable income? So taxable income is the amount that you make that's taxable. So you can make $100,000 a year. You'll get your standard deduction that the IRS automatically gives everyone. But then once you have things like 401k that you invest in, health savings account, and flex spend, you're contributing, that dollar is tax-free. So let's say if you're contributing $2,000 to your 401k, that money is not taxed. So it brings down your taxable income. Another thing to consider is, do you have any deductible expenses as a W-2 earner? Do you work remotely? Do you have a home office, internet, phone? If your job doesn't give you any kind of reimbursement for those items, you can deduct those on your taxes possibly. Any software supplies that you typically have to buy yourself that you need for work, that's tax deductible. Anything that you do that contributes to your job that the job does not reimburse you for. If you pay $200 on something and your job gives you that at the end of the year or every 3 months, then you can't write that off because you weren't reimbursed for it. So basically it's understanding the standard deduction or itemized deduction. And I won't get into all the specifics just to bore you out, but you have 2 types of deductions. Standard, which is what your standard deduction, but if you itemize, you get more typically in deductions. So typically people itemize if it applies. So number 2, 1099 contract, if you drive Uber, you drive Lyft, you work jobs that they give you a 1099 versus a W-2, you are considered a contractor, which you can have more ability to write more things off. One thing I would suggest is if you are 1099, you have no W-2. So for me, I have both. I have W-2 and 1099. But if you have strictly 1099, you should try to pay your taxes quarterly, every 3 months. Have somebody who prepare your taxes, set it up where you can pay your taxes quarterly. That way you don't be hitting the head at that end of the year with that big amount. Also, you want to track your expenses. This is very, very important. I can't stress it enough. Let me tell y'all what I do and what I suggest. So there's 12 months in every year, last time I checked. So at the end of each month, this is what I do. I sit down and go through all of my expenses. Are they work related? Are they personal? If they are work related, then you want to write them down, put them in a spreadsheet, the date and the amount and the use. This will help you at the end of the year. It will help your tax person as well, because you don't have to go through and try to figure everything out. Now, this is ideal. Get you one bank account that's designated for your business, that all of your transactions, gas, phone bill, whatever you do, designated for your business. That way, at the end of the year, you can just shoot your account in your bank statements, and it already itemized. You can use different apps like Mint.com has a good app that I like to recommend where you can put things in and it'll categorize it for you. Business, lodging, like if you went out of town for business, flight, hotel, all of that stuff you can write off because you're a 1099 earner. Now, self-employment tax, remember you are responsible for that, Social Security and Medicare, because you are not a W-2, they don't automatically take it out. You have to contribute to that. Everybody has to pay into that tax, Social Security and Medicare for our elders, for yourself when you get older. So when the person who does your taxes file your taxes as a 1099, you will be taxed with that self-employment tax. Make sure you keep your records clean and organized. Like, that's the major key. If you are a 1099, in a sense, you run a business. You are self-employed. Treat it as such. Don't be having the receipts falling all out your hoodie, ketchup, Chick-fil-A sauce on it. Like, don't do that. It's not good. Get you a planner, get you a binder, get you a calendar, get you a spreadsheet, get you a sheet of paper and a pen. I don't know. Whatever works for you. Just track your stuff. Be clean and organized, because I'm telling you, it makes your life so much easier. Retirement options. So if you are self-employed, you can invest in the IRA, which means like it's kind of like a self-employed thing, like how when you're working a job, you're going to invest in your 401k. If you do not-for-profit, 403b. If you're self-employed, you can get a self-employed IRA. So that's like giving a percentage that's not taxable to that fund. But that's other stuff. So if you're strictly a business owner, you have an LLC, S Corp, corporation, you're going to make sure that your business is set up right, meaning that the entity is structured right for tax purposes. Write off all your business expenses, rent, utilities, food. If you own a business, honey, truly 99.8% of things you do in your life is a business expense. So if you're out to lunch with your friends and you discuss your business, that lunch has now become a tax write-off. So you want to keep that in mind. Marketing, like, are you advertising your business? Do you get pluggers, things like that? All of that is a tax write-off. Keep track of that stuff. And you want to set yourself up as an employee of your own business. Like ADP has a good software for that I recommend. Just paying yourself a salary. Don't just do all your transactions personally in business at one account. Don't do that. Please. Like I said, prove that this was a business expense versus personal. So if you out to Red Lobster with your friends, or are you at a business meeting at Red Lobster, how do you know which one is which? But if you have one card, one account for your business, then you can kind of determine everything in this account was business. Just work with a professional, man. That's what I say. Just hire somebody to take care of your bookkeeping. You're a business owner. You need an accountant. You need a tax person. Don't try to do it yourself, because you definitely will mess something up. Like I said, I do bookkeeping for a few businesses, meaning that I do their books every 3 months and then do their taxes. Business taxes are due at the beginning of the year. Like January 31st is when business taxes are. Like you strictly have a business, those taxes are due at January 31st. But my thing is, just hire somebody. Add that to your budget. Like, you need somebody to take care of your business. So you can focus on whatever if you're a hairstylist, if you own a daycare, if you own a barbershop, you want to be able to focus on your clients. Take the work of the accounting and the business. Now, I'm not saying don't understand it, because you don't put your trust in everybody. Make sure you have some type of understanding of accounting in a sense, because everybody will need an accountant in any business facet. But you just don't want to put your sole trust, but somebody to handle all your money, and you don't even ask questions or know what's going on. I don't recommend. You want to have some sense of what? A credit versus debit, something. Plan ahead, man. I ain't going to drown y'all out with all the specifics. If y'all want to see more in-depth content on what to do in this case for this tax, that's a whole nother episode. But I just wanted you to get prepared for tax season. April 15th is the deadline. They do interest after that for extensions now. It's getting crazy. So you want to make sure. What I tell people, like if you drive Uber or Lyft or DoorDash, let's say you make $100. Put $10 aside for Uncle Sam, and you keep $90 every time. Put it in a separate account, and that way at the end of 3 months, if you do quarterly, or the end of the year, you have your taxes sitting aside all ready to pay. And then it's going to be less because you're going to deduct all those expenses that I was talking about. So keep that in mind. It's good to be prepared. Keep a detailed record of your receipts. If you go to gas, grocery store, getting on a flight, anything like that, keep those receipts, because how are you going to prove it? And you want to keep it for 7 years, because the IRS can hit you up like 2011. I want to see all your receipts. Well, not 2011, because that's longer than 7 years. Y'all know what I'm saying. 2022 in June, can you send me all your receipts? So you want to have like some kind of system, a file cabinet, a folder, whatever. Just organize, be organized. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I believe that. So you want to be organized, and that'll help you. Stay informed about the new tax laws. Don't just depend on your tax person to be the person who, you know what I'm saying? Like, we be struggling sometimes. So it's good to know, like, people hit me up or send me something, say, hey, does this apply to me? The stimulus stuff. That's good. Stay informed. You want to. It's your business at the end of the day. So you want to make sure you're good. I'll go in detail later in another episode about different strategies, but that's basically the main thing. Stay organized, move in a separate account, personal versus business, track your spending. Miles is good too. When you run a business, your mileage really is a good write-off. I recommend an app called Mile IQ. You put it on your phone, and every time you drive, it's going to ask you at the end of the trip, was this trip personal or was this trip business? You literally swipe it, and it's going to go into the bucket. End of the year, it gives you a report how many miles you drove. I think they're giving 55 cents per mile now to deduct. That's the easy deduction, right? Keep track of your miles. If you're going to meet a client or you going to a business lunch to talk about your business, that's a write-off. So just be organized, ask questions. Us as accountants and tax professionals, we be crazy and looking crazy around this time of year, but we appreciate the questions because we want to make sure that you're good. Because believe it or not, what people don't understand, us preparing your taxes is showing that we've done our due diligence, because if something comes back that's not right, we can be out of it. I have had to pay 7 fines in my 22-year span with doing taxes. That's a real good number. I had 7 audits and I passed them all. But at the end of the day, if something comes back that's not good, that shows that you entrusted me and I didn't do my due diligence. And now I get a fine, and now they're holding up your refund. People out here, that's not good as far as to do tax returns. Just make sure you do your homework on that person. Make sure they're credible. Make sure they know what they're doing. Referrals, reviews, something. Just make sure you're good. This is your livelihood that they hold in their hand. This is your money. You work hard for it, so you want to make sure the government don't get all of it. You want to make sure the person is asking you questions, because you as a taxpayer or a business owner, you're not thinking about certain stuff that you can write off. It's our job as tax preparers, as accountants, to make sure that we're informing you on things that you might not have known. Like, if you are a teacher, there's certain deductions. If you are a nurse, there's certain deductions. If you own a salon, there's certain deductions. If you own a store, there's certain deductions. If you sell an item versus a service, certain deductions. This is our job as professionals to keep ourselves in the know, to know what we need to do for your situation. Everybody's tax situation is different. Don't listen to these people who say, well, I can get you $10,000 back, hit me up. They haven't even looked at your situation. How can they guarantee they can get you $10,000 back? If you won't have no kids and went exempt, how they give you $10,000 back? Now they just put it out there that they gonna give you $10,000 back. You gotta be careful, y'all. It's crazy out here. It's a trying time. So I just want to come on here and just kind of let you guys know some tips. I know I'm all over the place, sorry, but I just want to, I was in the mood to talk to the camera, so I'm not 100% well. I was sick, y'all. I had something called neurovirus, vomiting and diarrhea. TMI, I know, but that's what it is. So I just wanted to give y'all a few tips. Tax season has started, so get your information together. I am accepting new clients. No, I ain't. But nah, y'all, I just want to help you out. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. More content coming. Thanks, Franklin.